Hi there guys, these are your handover videos for your Adria Adora. In these videos I'm just going to go over how to essentially set it up as if you were getting to a site and a few other tips that you need to know. So first up, you've got your hitch head here, you've got your black lever, breakaway cable, handbrake, 13-pin electric and jockey wheel. And then inside the front locker, we're using our test gas bottle here. You can see it's got a gas hose connected on one side, and then just up the top here you have another point for a gas hose, so you can connect that by hand and then just finish it off using a spanner. Make sure both sides are firmly connected and twist in the positive or open direction on this for your gas. Okay, so underneath here you have your points for your legs. So you have 2 points either side, and then you have 2 points at the back, and those are for your legs. Now with your legs, you don't want to level the caravan or attempt to jack up the caravan. They're simply used for stabilisation. So first, level the caravan using the jockey wheel, and then stabilise using the legs. You can also get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a drill to make it that bit faster. So we're not pushing water through the caravan today as it is rather cold, but just as an example, that is where you will push your water through. So you'll have a water pump, and then when you're on site, you want to get yourself a clean, an aqua full of clean drinking water. Make sure that it's nice and full, and then insert it there. I will show you inside the caravan what the pump looks like, and a few things you'll need to note. Just next to it, you have your battery locker. You can see you've got your battery here and also a point for your mains plug-in. Just very simply, just pushes in and connects very easily. Oops. Then just next to the wheel you have these 2 points. These are where your wastewater will come out of. They'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to insert into them to then feed into a wastemaster. Then at the end we have the function that you flush for your toilet. So this top one, this is where you'll feed in your water for your flush. So get yourself something like a watering can just to feed it through, and then all you have to do is empty it into there. You can also put some pink chemical in as well if you like it to smell a little bit nicer. Then underneath you have your cassette for your toilet. So just push that through there. So you can set for your toilet. To release it, press up on this orange handle and remove it, just like so. Then when you get to your point on site, there we go, it's a little awkward to do with one hand. Twist that orange head to the side, open up the cap, tilt it up, and at the same time press in this vent button. When you've done that once, I recommend swilling it out with some fresh water and again tilted and venting. And then on this cap here you have measurements in both metric and imperial. This is for your blue chemical. Once you've filled it with blue chemical, put it back onto here, stick the head just down there, put it back to the central position, and then push it through. Now you'll want this orange handle to just sit just below these white teeth, and then just above here you have this point for this bung. Now that is to empty that flush capacity part, because you don't want to travel with either of these too full. So just open that up and that will release any water that is left in the system. Okay, so situated underneath your right hand side bed you have this stuff here. The other side is empty, so if you want to store stuff I recommend it there, but this is where a lot of stuff goes on. So First up, these boxes at the back here, those are for your trips and fuses. You have this blue box here, which is your boiler. And then the main thing I want to note, just because we're not putting water through today, cushion of the way, is that yellow switch there. So that yellow valve is currently in the vertical position. That means it's not allowing any water to flow through the system. And as a matter of fact, it will actually drain out any water remaining in the system and make sure that there's none left. So I recommend November to March, especially if you're not using the caravan, to have that switch up almost permanently, as you don't want water getting in and then freezing up the pipes and then bursting the pipes. When you do want to feed water through, you want to switch it down to the horizontal position. It can be the horizontal position either way, but just horizontal. So as I'm not feeding water through today, I'll show you what I was alluding to with the pump. So just here, this is your water pump for outside. You'll get yourself an ack roll and make sure that ack roll is full of water. To insert it, all you have to do is press into that point that I showed you outside, and then to release, press in on the trigger and remove. You have this plastic cap here which goes over the top of the ack roll to make sure no nastiness gets in. And then you have this at the bottom, which is your strainer. The strainer has to sit at the bottom of the barrel, as this is what sucks the water through, and you don't want it to be gasping any air through, so that's quite important. They do have a tendency as well to curl up, so before use, just stretch it out to make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, next up we have this selection of switches here. First one I want to focus on, this is your master switch. Without that being turned on, nothing else inside the caravan will be able to work. And then just above it, you can see that right now there is 13 volts coming into the caravan. So you've got your master and then you've got your pump. So if I were to press this down on the pump button, what that will begin to do, if you had your ack roll full of clean drinking water, is it will begin to pump the water through the system. Now what I'd recommend is that, especially if you haven't used the system in a while, wait 2 to 3 minutes to allow the water to come through, then come over to your taps, open up the taps and let it run for 30 seconds. What you'll want is a nice continuous stream. If it's not doing that straight away, just give it another minute or so to allow some more water to come through, or check outside and make sure that the strainer is sat at the bottom of the barrel and also that your switch is in the horizontal position. Then you've got your mains light switch, a couple more switches here just for general lights, but the main thing is your master switch here and your pump switch just there. Then over on the kitchen side, we have these parts here. So when you have your water running through, these are for your hot water. So this top one is if you wanted to use gas to heat the water, you can either have it at 50 degrees by pressing there, or 70 degrees by pressing that. And then just below it, if you want to use electric, again it's the same, press up and that will do 50, down and that will do 70. You can use a combination of two if you wish. So when neither are switched, they'll be in the neutral position and that won't heat the water at all. Coming back over here though, if you want to use electric for the heating of the caravan, so not the water heat but the actual heating inside the caravan, you've got this here. Now this dial here can operate in two different ways. So you have your thermostat in the middle, which can be twisted side to side like that. 9 being the hottest and 1 being the coldest. And then you have the choice of what you can use. So this is your wattage on the side. Let me just flip that around. This is your wattage on the side. So you've either got 2000, 500 or 1000. So for example, I want to use 1000 watts coming into the caravan, and you can see this green icon is now lit up, and I have the choice of 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9, just like so. And if you want to use gas, you'll have to come over to the radiator just here. So we'll go from the start here. So right now it's off. However, 1 being the smallest, 5 being the most powerful to heat it. Well, it's more your thermostat this time. So I've just checked it, so it's not going to do what it normally does, but what it will do, when you first initially twist it around, it will begin to tick in. At the same time as it's ticking in, you'll want to press in on the button. Then just here, you have a spyglass. You can peep your eye through, and that will allow you to see either like a little yellow beam. If you can see that, that means that it is lit. Then just here we have fan. So this is for your fan coming out of your ducts and also out of here. So got 2 dials on this. I'll just up for a second. So you've got 2 dials. The one below, this is for the fan speed. Well, not speed, the top one's for speed actually. So fan speed, you can have it either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5, it will shoot out the fastest, and will also heat it up the fastest. And then the one down below, you can either switch it to A or M. M meaning that the heat is manual and will continue to push out the air, whilst A is automatic and will only push out the air when the caravan deems necessary to get it to the temperature that you have put on either thermostat. And then O being neutral. Okay, then here we have your hob. Now your hob, grill and oven work in a very similar way. They all work off gas. So you'll have this little star button here, which I press in, and you can hear the gas tick in. What you'll want to do is press down on here, twist it at the same time, and then press them both at the same time, and that will light it. It's a little bit awkward to do with one hand, so let me just show you what it looks like when they're all lit. Now here you can see you've got nice, steady, continuous blue flames, and to turn it off, just stick it back to the central position. You do have this glass sheet here. Don't put the glass sheet down until all of these are cold to the touch or when you are cooking. Then again, for your grill and oven, it's very, very simple. It's a case on this one, you have the button on the side and your dials again. So you can see for the grill, both sides nice and lit. Turn it off. And then again for the oven, and there you can see for the oven nice and lit again. Then here we have your fridge operation. So it's currently off right now, but to turn it on, you have this button here. Press and hold it in, it will flash up, it will go back to its most recent memory, which was mains on full capacity. Now, this will work off a touchscreen just here, so let me press that again. If I want to change the power source, I press this here, so I can have it on car battery here. But as you can see, because it's on car battery, it does begin to flash up with a hazard. So press that again and it will go to gas. Now for gas, you'll hear it tick in for a little while. And then once it's stopped ticking, that means that the fridge is lit on gas and will begin to chill. Press it again, it will go to A. A means automatic, and we'll choose the automatic power source. So whatever the fridge deems it's the best power source. Then here we have this button. This button is for the amount of power for the fridge. So 1 being the least amount and 5 being the most. 5 meaning it will chill it the quickest. If you have any errors or anything like that, it will pop up on this side just here. Then when you want to turn it off, press and hold in on this button here. You can see that there's no longer a green icon around it. It does take 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill, so if you are going on a long journey, you can have it on car battery and then just chill it during the journey. And then lastly, you've got your toilet just here. You have this button at the top, and this is for your flush. Press that in, you can hear that motor whir. Now, if that was full of water that you have emptied from the outside, then that will push the water through. Then once you've done whatever you need to do in there, you have this handle down at the bottom, press it away, opens up the catch, pull it back towards you, shuts the catch.